Well, finally get to open our Christmas present and get this schedule, man. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugas, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugas. And tonight I'm going to take a look at the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles schedule as the full 18-week schedule has officially come out. Before I get into this video, man, for anyone, if you want to drop a dime on the Cash App information is down in the description box. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, that information is down in the description box. If you're a subscriber to the channel, greatly appreciate the love and support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification button, like the video, and share it with your folks. Let's get into it, man. As we already know, as I did a video on it already, we opened up the season Thursday night, dropped the Super Bowl banner, against the Dallas Cowboys at home, 8:20 p.m. Eastern game. Like I said, man, Cowboy fans don't like you, can't stand you. I know a lot of people felt Dallas wasn't deserving of this spot, but I'm actually excited that we could open up the season with our biggest rival, in front of everybody. So, pretty happy about that one. In week two, man, they ain't waste no time. they ain't waste no time. They ain't give us a chance to stretch. None of that, bro. They just gonna get it out the way, man. Week two, September 14th, man, 4:25 Eastern game. Eagles versus Chiefs in Arrowhead. Super Bowl, rematch. Obviously, we did our thing against them in the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs ain't gotta wait long to see us again, man. You know, go obviously be the America's game of the week, Fox, CBS or whatever. Don't have the networks for the afternoon games, but that's gonna be a big time matchup, man. A matchup that everybody gonna have their eyes on. As we play the Thursday against Dallas, they actually start the season how we started it last year, that Friday night in Brazil against the Chargers. So obviously that's gonna be an interesting one. Then week three, September 21st, a game that I thought could have been the opener. We get the Rams at home at 1 o'clock Eastern. No, thought it could have been possibly a primetime game, but 1 o'clock Eastern game, you would think that favors us a little bit with it being, a West Coast team coming on the East Coast playing early. That's basically 10 o'clock in the morning daytime. But they got Devontae Adams, Puka Nakua, man. They nearly got us in the playoffs last year, man. So that's gonna be an exciting matchup. Week four, September 28th at 1 p.m. We go on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, Gotta go to Tampa early again. You know what I'm saying? Like we did the last 2 years. It's hot as hell down there in September. But look, man, gotta get our lick back, man. The last two times we went to Tampa, man, in the playoffs and last year early on, though we had a lot of key people missing on offense, they smacked us around, man. They beat us pretty handily. So it'll be nice to go out there and, finally get our lick back, man. Week five, October 5th, at we host the Denver Broncos at 1 p.m. Man, intriguing matchup. Obviously, Denver coming off a playoff experience with Bo Nix, Sean Payton over there. So once again, another West Coast team coming on the East Coast having to play at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 10 basically. Well, I don't know if they actually West Coast time or not in Denver. I got to double check that, but or Mountain Time or whatever. But yeah, they got to come on the East Coast for an early start. Week six, October 9th, man. Short week for us as we're gonna go to New York to take on the New York Giants on Thursday night football, man. Obviously Saquon's second game, back playing the Giants over there in that stadium. They got Abdul Carter, they got Russell Wilson, so you would think they would be a little better at the quarterback play. I don't think Jackson Dart will be starting quite yet, so it's gonna either be Russell or James, but going up against Abdul Carter and it's gonna be an interesting matchup, man. Not a game that I thought would be a primetime game, but nevertheless it is, man. And then the following week, man, back to back road games as October 19th, we go on the road to take on the Minnesota Vikings, man. In another 1 p.m. Eastern start. Look, JJ McCarthy, team I thought we was gonna see in the divisional round, but they got knocked off by the Rams. JJ McCarthy, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, that environment. That's gonna be a tough game on the road, man. But looking forward to the challenge, yo. And then right after that, for the second time in 3 weeks, man, we get the New York Giants at home, October 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern start. Getting the Giants out the way early, man. It's crazy because the last few years they basically been our week 7, our week 18 matchup. So, get the Giants out the way early. You know, game definitely that we got to take care of business at home. And then week 9 is the bye week, man. Interesting bye week, pretty much right in the middle of the schedule. Last year we had a real early bye week, so this year, you put it smack dead in the middle of the schedule, which I think is pretty cool. So we enjoy week 9 bye week. Coming off that bye week, man, week 10, November 10th, Monday night football matchup as we go to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. And look, man, that's gonna be an intriguing matchup. Not only did we beat them in the playoffs and send them home last year, they the ones that try to go to the laws on us. You know what I'm saying? Complain. They the ones started the complaining. They started the complaining about the tush push. So Monday night game, Lambeau Field. That's gonna be a really really exciting atmosphere. So like I said, looking forward to that challenge, man. Following week, man, November 16th, Sunday night matchup as we're going to host the Detroit Lions. A game that, a lot of us thought was going to end up being the NFC Championship game in Detroit last year. But the Commanders went in there and knocked them off. Intriguing matchup, man. Good time of the year, pretty much right in the middle of the season. November, right around, right before a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup, man. Sunday night at home at the link. You would figure Detroit's gonna be. You figure we gonna be good again, and Detroit gonna be good again. So that game could have a lot of implications for it. Then week 12, man. 23rd. The weekend before Thanksgiving week. We go to Dallas and take on the Dallas Cowboys in a 4:25 Eastern game. America's game of the week, basically. Interesting, man. Get them week 1, then we don't see them again for another 11 weeks, and get them in Dallas, basically, like I said, right before Thanksgiving week. Gonna be a pretty interesting matchup, man. Hopefully, we healthy, they healthy, and we can actually get a good matchup, man. And interesting game, man. November 28th, Shark Week, on a Friday, Black Friday special. We're gonna host the Chicago Bears at 3 p.m. Eastern. Um, Interesting matchup, man. Friday afternoon in the link, day after Thanksgiving, man. They coming in with Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and all those receivers they got, the running backs. Chicago looking like a pretty trending team, man. And it's a good spot for us to get them basically on a big national stage in front of everybody on Black Friday. Then week 14, December 8th, Monday night matchup as we're going to go to LA to take on the Chargers on Monday Night Football, man. You know, good team. Jim Harbaugh, obviously really good coach. Justin Herbert. They got a good young squad, man. I expect it to be plenty Philly fans in there. I expect us to take over that stadium on a Monday night in LA. As you know, we love to take over the stadium in LA. So I'm looking forward to that one being on the Monday night. Then week 15, man, December 14th, 1 p.m. game. We're gonna host the Las Vegas Raiders. Um, third game with a West Coast team traveling on the East Coast and playing us at 1 p.m. Pete Carroll over there now, Geno Smith, Ashton Genty, you know, um, it's gonna be a really, really interesting matchup, man. A game you would think we'll be favored in, but it's gonna be cool to see Saquon and Ashton Genty, share the field in that one. Um, then week 16, December 20th on a Saturday, We're gonna go to on the road to take on the Washington Commanders. It's either gonna be the 4:30 Eastern game or the 8 p.m. Eastern game. Um, the one thing that's really crazy about this, man, this our first matchup with them, man. We don't play Washington till the third to last game of the season, which is like I understand the hype. I understand hyping the game up and, making us wait to play them, but it's like, you just hope that we playing for something, both teams playing for something at that point with such a long wait, for us to finally match up with each other. But it's gonna be on a Saturday on the national stage, so that's gonna be pretty unique. And then week 17, December 28th, we're gonna go on the road to take on the Buffalo Bills in a 4:25 Eastern game. Of course they had to send us to Tampa when it's hot as hell. And of course they gotta send us to Buffalo when it's cold as crap, man. Obviously it's gonna be really, really cold over there in Buffalo, man. But nevertheless, man, gonna be a very, very interesting matchup, man, against those guys who've always been contending in playoff, for Super Bowls and stuff like that. And to see us go over there second to last week of the season, man, it's gonna be a fun matchup. And then we close the season, which I think is crazy. Week 18 at home with the Washington Commanders. Obviously, that time not gonna be announced till the week of. Um, I don't like the fact that we played them twice, two of our last three games, man. I just think that's a bit odd. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, it is what it is, man. And we're gonna see what happens. A couple of takeaways from the schedule, man. We don't have back-to-back home games. Like we don't have back-to-back home games at all this season. Every time we play a home game, we gotta go on the road the next week or two. We do got two back-to-back road games: week 6 at the Giants and 7 at the Vikings, and week 16 at Washington and 17 at Buffalo. But no back-to-back games. Like I mentioned, we gonna play Tampa when it's gonna be hot. We gonna play Buffalo when it's gonna be really, really cold. Division games, is they kind of spreading it out a little bit. You got Dallas to start the season and then don't see them again till week 12. They spread out the two Cowboy matchups, but the two Giants and two Commanders matchups are bunched together. We get the Giants week 6 and week 8 and the Commanders week 16 and week 18. So that's real interesting. Another thing I was a little surprised that we only got one Sunday night game. I thought, by us being the Super Bowl champ, you know what I'm saying, that, we would have had more than just one Sunday night game on NBC. Now I know they got us the opening night against Dallas at home or whatever, but the only Sunday night game we got is against Detroit, man. Week 11, November 16th. That's the only Sunday night game we got. And we got what? Two Monday night games. You go to Green Bay, and we go to Green Bay, and we go to the Chargers. That's the two Monday night games. One Thursday night game. We go to New York in the Black Friday game against Chicago at home, and a Saturday game with Washington. Let's see. We got one, two, three, four, five, six. We got 6 1 o'clock games, man. Thought it would have been a little more primetime games than that, but nevertheless, man, it is what it is. It's tough, difficult schedule, man. A lot of playoff opponents, especially on the road. But we're gonna see what we made of, man. I tell you what, man. Makuba, the new safety, and Keely Ringo, our new corner, they gonna get tested early, man. We got we got George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. Then you got Rashid Weiss and Xavier Worthy. Then Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams. And then you got, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So the first 4 weeks we gonna go up against some good receiving cores. So that secondary gonna get tested early, man. But nevertheless, that's the schedule, man. Obviously can't wait for it, man. Just ready to get this thing underway. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe and have Philadelphia Eagles, NFL, and content on other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.